There's a village on a small island in southern Japan where people routinely live past 100, not just surviving, gardening at 95, dancing at 102, sharp-minded and pain-free. Scientists have studied them for decades. And buried inside every blood panel, every longevity study, the finding is always the same: plants. Specific medicinal plants these centenarians have been growing, brewing, and eating as daily medicine for over 400 years. Not supplements, not trends. 20 forgotten Okinawan plants, now backed by peer-reviewed science, that reverse the biological markers of aging at the cellular level. Number 17 is so forgotten that most Okinawans under 50 have never heard of it. Yet modern research shows it directly activates the FOXO3 longevity gene, the same genetic switch found in nearly every centenarian ever studied worldwide. And number 20 holds the highest natural concentration of the most powerful aging reversal compound on Earth. Scientists believe it's a primary reason this island became the longest-lived population in all of human history. These plants reversed aging for them. Let's find out if they can do the same for you. Subscribe, because every week we translate ancient longevity wisdom into modern, practical health knowledge. Now let's get into it. 20 forgotten Okinawan medicinal plants, ranked from remarkable to absolutely extraordinary. 1. Purple sweet potato, Beni-imo, the foundation of 100-year life. This is where every Okinawan centenarian starts. Beni-imo wasn't a side dish. It was the diet. It provided over half of daily calories for generations who lived longer than almost anyone else on Earth. Okinawan farmers bred the most intensely purple varieties deliberately because those plants produced the healthiest, longest-lived people. Not superstition, centuries of careful human observation. Modern science confirms it. The purple color is anthocyanins, antioxidant capacity significantly higher than blueberries. The protein sporamin directly reduces oxidative DNA damage. The leaves provide chlorogenic acid and quercetin, cutting systemic inflammation. Steam it, roast it, or brew the leaves as tea. It disappeared when white rice and processed foods replaced it. The data shows the consequence. Younger Okinawans have lost the longevity advantage their grandparents held. This purple root is a primary reason why. 2. Bitter melon, Goya, the blood sugar guardian. Western visitors recoil from it. Centenarians swear by it. The bitterness is not a flaw. It is the medicine. Ryukyuan healers prescribed Goya for energy crashes, excessive thirst, and fatigue, every symptom we now recognize as blood sugar dysfunction before insulin was a concept. Carnitine, Vicine, and polypeptide P work together to enhance glucose uptake and suppress excess sugar production in the liver, functioning as a natural pharmaceutical glucose agent. By blocking glycation of proteins, Goya prevents the accelerated skin aging and arterial stiffness that kills longevity. Slice thin, salt to reduce bitterness, stir-fry with tofu and eggs in Goya champuru. That bitterness you're resisting? That's the exact compound keeping blood sugar in check and arteries young. 3. Spring turmeric, Kyouou, the forgotten cousin. Everyone knows turmeric. Almost no one knows the Okinawan variant healers prized above all others. Kyouou has a lemon-yellow cross-section and camphor-like scent, reserved for the most serious medicinal preparations in the Ryukyu Kingdom. It contains over 100 essential oil components at concentrations nearly 6 times higher than common turmeric, providing bactericidal effects, protecting the gut lining, and promoting bile secretion for nutrient absorption. It disappeared because autumn turmeric was easier to mass produce. Spring turmeric remains one of the most underutilized medicinal plants on Earth. 4. Autumn turmeric Ukon, the inflammation extinguisher. Okinawan elders took Ukon the way modern people take aspirin, daily, preventively. Rather than waiting for disease, they consumed anti-inflammatory plants as maintenance. Ukon was central to that strategy. Curcumin inhibits the NF-κB signaling pathway, directly cutting the inflammaging process behind chronic degenerative disease. The Okinawan variety contains significantly higher tetrahydrocurcumin, superior antioxidant power to the standard global product. Growing or sourcing Okinawan Ukon is the difference between a spice and a medicine. 5. Okinawan spinach, Handama, the blood cleanser. Green on top, deep burgundy underneath, grown on windowsills and kitchen gardens for daily use, not a vegetable, a medicine that tasted like one. The purple signals petunidin-3 glucoside, which scavenges reactive oxygen species in endothelial cells and preserves critical antioxidant enzymes even in high glucose environments. Epidemiological data from Okinawan island populations links regular Handama consumption to significantly decreased all-cause mortality. No imported leaf delivers this specific anthocyanin profile. 6. Shell ginger, Getto. The longevity skincare secret woven into Okinawan daily life. Leaves wrap festival rice cakes. Seeds brew into tea. Women of the royal court applied leaf extracts to their skin. An ancient understanding that aging skin and aging arteries share the same root cause: oxidative stress. Getto leaves contain polyphenol concentrations exceeding even green tea. These compounds reduce systemic inflammation and strengthen the cardiovascular lining. High-end longevity skincare brands are only now catching up to what Okinawan centenarians knew centuries ago. It was never forgotten inside Okinawa. 7. Mugwort, Fuchiba. The household healer. Every traditional Okinawan household grew Fuchiba. It was the household medicine cabinet before medicine cabinets existed. Brewed for fever, used as compress for joint pain, added to soups as daily immune maintenance. Okinawan mugwort is rich in essential oils and tannins, effective against respiratory pathogens and digestive distress. It was replaced by pharmaceutical antibiotics, which treat the same symptoms with far greater side effects and far less tradition. If you're seeing the pattern, if you're realizing Okinawa built a sophisticated plant-based medical system now validated by molecular science, hit that like button. It helps this reach people searching for evidence-based alternatives to modern aging. And subscribe. Longevity isn't luck. It's knowledge. Ancient knowledge. I want you to have all of it. 8. Coastal hog fennel. Botanbofu, the long-life herb. Its local name translates as long-life herb. It grows wild along high-salt, high-UV Okinawan coastlines, an environment so harsh most plants can't survive it. Prescribed not to treat illness, but to prevent it. Coastal survival produced extreme concentrations of coumarins and polyphenols, the same xenohormesis process that benefits human consumers. These compounds act as caloric restriction mimetics, activating cellular longevity pathways without requiring actual deprivation. You can't find it in a supermarket. Coastal Okinawan communities have cultivated it continuously for centuries because they know what happens to the people who stop. 9. Shikuwasa lime, the Nobilitan balm. Small, intensely tart, and consumed green, unripe, sour, maximizing the concentration of its most powerful compound. Traditional medicine linked this citrus to cognitive clarity in old age so consistently that communities consuming it most were noted for unusually high mental acuity. Nobilitan, a flavone found in Shikuwasa at concentrations far higher than any other citrus. Inhibits the pathological processes of dementia and Alzheimer's. The riper and yellower it gets, the more nobiletin is lost. Okinawans eat it green. An ancient empirical discovery modern science only recently explained. 10. Mozuku seaweed, the immune architect. Okinawa produces over 90% of the world's ito mozuku. Eaten as vinegared side dish, soup ingredient, daily ritual, not decoration. Intentional medicine at almost every traditional meal. The active compound fucoidin exhibits immunomodulatory, anti-tumor, and antiviral properties in clinical research. Researchers at the Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology recently confirmed the biochemical uniqueness of the Okinawan variety. It remains almost entirely unknown outside the islands because it grows only in the specific warm waters of the Ryukyu archipelago. 11. Sea grapes, umibudo, the mineral matrix. Translucent green spheres clustered like miniature grapes, each bursting with ocean minerals. Coastal communities called them longevity seaweed, linking daily consumption with strong bones, healthy joints, and mental clarity deep into old age. Dense in calcium, magnesium, and vitamins A, C, and K. The precise combination for maintaining bone density against age-related skeletal degeneration. It resists industrial food chains because it's a living organism that wilts quickly after harvest. It remains a local treasure precisely because it resists convenience. 12. Guava leaves, manjui, the sugar regulator, not the fruit. The leaves. Okinawan healers prescribed guava leaf tea for what they called sweet blood, the state we now recognize as pre-diabetes. This is the kind of advanced empirical pharmacology the Okinawan tradition mastered through centuries of careful observation. Guava leaf polyphenols inhibit alpha-glucosidase, the enzyme that breaks carbohydrates into glucose. Slowing sugar entry prevents the glycation cascade that ages arteries, kidneys, and nerve tissue. Clinical studies confirm it as one of the most effective natural agents for managing blood sugar spikes. Brew 3 to 4 dried leaves before your largest meal. Safely consumed daily for centuries. 13. Green papaya, the digestive architect. In Okinawa, papaya is eaten before it ripens. The green, unripe fruit is sliced and consumed as medicinal vegetable, not tropical dessert. The deliberate choice to eat it unripe reflects understanding of the plant's medicinal peak that most cultures never discovered. Papayan, concentrated in unripe green papaya, breaks down proteins with remarkable efficiency, enhancing absorption in aging digestive systems. The leaves hold the highest tocopherol content of almost any plant food studied, protecting against lipid peroxidation, one of the most reliable markers of biological age. The ripe yellow version in supermarkets contains a fraction of the medicine. 14. Winter melon, togan, the longevity hydrator, nutrient-dense, calorie-poor. The embodiment of Okinawan dietary philosophy, prescribed specifically for elderly patients struggling with fluid retention and kidney sluggishness in a subtropical climate where heat stress accelerates cellular aging. Epidemiological research from Okinawan island populations associates regular togan consumption with significantly decreased mortality risk through hydration, mineral delivery, microbiome support, and caloric restriction, replaced by sweeter, calorie-dense vegetables that satisfied modern taste preferences without delivering the medicinal profile. The Okinawans who kept eating it kept living. 15. Fireweed, the brain defender. Most visitors walk past it. It grows like a weed along roadsides in disturbed soil. Okinawan healers cataloged it centuries ago as one of the most powerful emergency medicines in their botanical library, specifically for mental clarity and liver function in elderly patients. Fireweed extracts scavenge the most destructive free radicals in human tissue. In animal models of Alzheimer's, dietary fireweed improved survival rates by 70 to 80% and enhanced behavioral performance by modulating acetylcholinesterase and monoamine oxidase, the exact same enzymes targeted by the most advanced pharmaceutical dementia treatments. A wild, overlooked plant performing at pharmaceutical levels. 16. Manjericon, the synergist. A quiet herb used in the background of traditional health formulations, almost never alone. Traditional healers understood it as an enhancer that amplified other medicinal plants. Modern research confirms it. Manjericon's most significant effects emerge in combination with turmeric, reducing blood glucose, and promoting liver function. In a culture that understood plants as a system, manjericon was indispensable. 17. Juricon, the FOXO3 activator. Here is what was promised at the start. Juricon is paired with manjericon and turmeric in virtually every serious longevity formulation the Ryukyu Kingdom's healers produced. Outside Okinawa and a narrow circle of ethnobotanical researchers, almost no one knows it exists. Most Okinawans under 50 have never grown it. This is the plant that was nearly lost. Traditional healers used it for blood pressure regulation and cardiovascular maintenance, added to meat dishes as both seasoning and medicine, counteracting the cardiovascular strain that protein consumption places on aging arteries. Here is the finding that changes everything. Modern molecular research has revealed that Juricon directly activates FOXO3, one of only 2 genetic pathways consistently associated with human longevity across every diverse global population ever studied. FOXO3 controls DNA repair, stress resistance, and the rate of cellular aging itself. The Okinawan Centenarian study found FOXO3 activation at rates far above global norms. Juricon, consumed daily with turmeric and manjericon, is a measurable contributor. This isn't folklore. This is the molecular mechanism behind the oldest people on Earth. 18. Purple turmeric, Gujutsu, the circulation restorer. The rarest of the 4 Okinawan turmeric varieties. In traditional Ryukyuan medicine, circulation meant the movement of nutrients to peripheral tissues and removal of metabolic waste, the processes that determine skin health, connective tissue, and joint function. Sesquiterpenoids curcumol and curdione improve peripheral blood flow and assist metabolic waste removal from skin and connective tissue. Exactly what ancient practitioners described, now explained at the molecular level. Among the 4 Okinawan turmerics, Gujutsu is the one that addresses aging where people notice it first: skin, joints, and vitality in the extremities. 19. White turmeric, flower ginger, the detox catalyst. The most misunderstood of the 4, it lacks high curcumin content. By the standards of modern supplement science, it appears to be the weakest. That measurement misses the point entirely because white turmeric's value comes from an entirely different chemical family. Zerumbone and labdon provide powerful antibacterial and purifying properties. Labdon activates the body's innate detoxification mechanisms at the cellular level, not the same pathways as curcumin, but parallel and complementary. The Okinawan tradition used all 4 turmeric varieties together rather than selecting one. The body is a complex system. Complex systems respond better to diverse, synergistic inputs than to single powerful compounds. CTA Bridge, before plant 20, and number 20, the plant I saved for last. It is not a herb or spice. It is a wild plant, holding a distinction no other food source on Earth can claim. The highest natural concentration of resveratrol, the compound that activates the SIRT1 longevity gene. Modern longevity researchers call it a cellular reboot trigger. The people living past 100 in Okinawa have been eating it for centuries. 20. Japanese knotweed, the resveratrol source. Itadori grows wild throughout Okinawa. In early spring, young shoots emerge and are harvested as seasonal vegetable. Children eat it. Elderly women gather it from hillsides. It appears in local markets briefly, consumed with the casual intimacy of the most familiar seasonal foods. And it holds a biochemical secret modern longevity science considers one of the most significant discoveries in aging research. Traditional healers used it specifically for protecting the heart and clearing the blood in spring. A seasonal practice of vascular renewal marking the beginning of the growing year. Japanese knotweed holds the highest natural concentration of resveratrol of any food on Earth. Resveratrol is the most studied activator of SIRT1, the sirtuin longevity gene that enhances mitochondrial function, reduces inflammation, and supports cellular repair. The longevity researchers who first identified resveratrol's mechanism were unknowingly explaining why Okinawan centenarians who harvested this wild plant every spring had the longest-lived cardiovascular systems ever measured. Outside Okinawa, it is classified as an invasive weed. Western countries spend millions of dollars every year attempting to eradicate it. The same plant Okinawan centenarians have been quietly eating for centuries. The irony is almost too extraordinary to believe. If you made it here, you've just learned what took a small island in southern Japan centuries of deliberate observation to discover. Okinawa is not a longevity anomaly, not luck, genetics, or geography. It is knowledge. Specific plant-based knowledge, identifying exactly which compounds activate the FOXO3 longevity gene, which plants regulate blood sugar, which herbs cut the inflammation that destroys arteries, which seaweeds deliver the minerals that keep hearts functioning into a 10th decade of life. These 20 forgotten plants are not folklore. They are peer-reviewed molecular science wearing ancient clothes. The centenarians who gardened at 95 and danced at 102 were not doing anything mystical. They were consuming a sophisticated, synergistic system of plant medicine that modern longevity research is only now beginning to fully map. These plants reversed aging for them. Now you know which ones. Now the question is, what you do with that knowledge. Picture this. You take the exact Okinawan plant-powered secrets these centenarians have used for centuries, the same 20 forgotten plants you just discovered, and turn them into your daily reality, burning stubborn fat, rebuilding real strength, and adding extra healthy years, all from your own home. That's exactly what my book, The Plant-Powered Weight Loss Blueprint, delivers. Proven by Okinawa's longest-lived people and backed by the modern science you just learned. Homestead Campo Family. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on your screen to get your copy right now. If this video inspired you, smash that like button. If this video changed the way you think about aging, not just slowing it, but reversing it deliberately with plants that have already proven themselves across centuries of human life. Drop a comment. Which of these 20 plants surprised you most? Team Goya and bitter medicine? Team Shikawasa and brain protection? Team knotweed? The wild resveratrol secret that Western countries are literally paying to destroy? I read every comment. I want to know which one landed hardest. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe and ring the bell. Every week we translate the world's greatest ancient longevity systems into modern, actionable knowledge. The most powerful medicine for aging was never locked in a pharmaceutical lab. It was growing wild on a hillside in Okinawa, waiting for someone to pay attention. Now you are paying attention. That changes everything.